Hey everyone, how are you doing? So it is Sunday, I think. Um, the weekend seems to go fast for us. I don't know. It was like Friday, and then I don't know. It just went by. Like, where did Saturday go? So at least for us, it felt like it went pretty quick. So today is a big day of the Stupid Bowl, as I call it, or the Super Bowl, as everyone calls it. So I was trying to think of something special I could make for Polly, and I don't know. My brain says all kinds of things, but my body says, can't do it. Can't do it. This heat and cold thing it's just sucking the life out of me. So I don't know. I'm going to try to come up with one thing at least I can make for him special. Um, so that's that. But anyhow, so do you watch the Super Bowl? I don't know. I was going to talk about something else, and I introed with this. So do you watch it? Are you rooting for a team? I don't watch it. I'm not rooting. I don't understand football. But anyhow, what I was going to talk about today was being a caregiver. Are you a caregiver to someone? Or do you know anyone who's a caregiver? In particular, a caregiver to someone who has dementia. I was watching a couple of videos about that, and another kind of brain disorder where people have memory loss. And from personal experience, we did take care of a woman who, in our society of our nationality, she was a woman who was at everyone's parties, and she would always clean up and help set up and on and on and on. So, as years went by, she got older and older, and, she still kept doing stuff, and she was very, not old school, old country, I guess, like saran wrap. I remember we had a party in my house, and this was in my first marriage, and one of the people that were there was actually someone who I used to babysit her kids when I was like a new mom. And actually, my first husband worked for her husband for a while, so I was watching their kids, and she was helping, not the older woman I talked about, the elderly woman, this other woman who I watched her children. So she was helping unwrap my stuff, all the salads and whatever I had made. So I had saran wrap, and she takes the saran wrap and then folds it and keeps it. And the elderly woman, this was before she had dementia, she says, "Oh, that's a good woman. She saves. She's very good by saving." Because, like I said, she helped a lot of people. And she says, "Everyone just throws it away when you can reuse it." Now, that has nothing to do with caring for someone with dementia. But, and I'm not laughing about that. I'm just laughing at myself. Because, I always veer off to something else. But it just brought up a happy memory about her. But anyhow, so she was always there for someone else. I knew other people she would go and, they'd hire her, very little money they paid her, which was ridiculous. I mean, I just can't believe how people took advantage of her. But anyhow, we compensated her. She didn't even want to take money from me because I had little children and all. But I says, no, you should get paid. She didn't have money and all. And anyhow, so she started to get kind of. We noticed we were there at a Christmas at her house. She liked to make dinner. I don't know, it was actually Christmas Day. Probably not, because the other two people that were there, well, we won't talk about them. But anyhow, they would never go to her house on Christmas. They'd rather she stay alone. So I'm pretty sure, actually, I think maybe she made a dinner for my birthday. And at that time, I had one or two little ones. I'm thinking one. No, two. Anyhow, I think she made a birthday dinner and invited some other people. And they were talking amongst themselves, kind of like when she wasn't in the room, that they thought she was getting dementia. Not my mom and her and my uncle, but in particular, these very well-to-do people. And we won't talk about all the bad they did, but anyhow. So they had this thought that she should be put away in a nursing home. And their plan was to take her money. Now, she didn't have money, but what she had, she was able to save. There's these people that you look at that look like, and she was just barely getting by, but I think what she was doing was whatever she made, she would put aside. And it wasn't a lot. I mean, it could be $100. This is how bad these people were. So their plan was to get her money out of her, and she probably could have been persuaded that way. I don't know. It was so long ago to remember, and my mom right away said, oh, no, 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 because she did not want to be put in a nursing home. Well, who does? She says, no, no, I'll take her. And then the people who wanted to take the old woman's money said, well, you work. You can't watch her. And she was living in her whole apartment alone, so it wasn't like it was like the beginning where someone wouldn't even say anything, but they're just thinking of their own pocketbooks, this couple that took everyone's money that they could. And the kicker is they were millionaires themselves through their own means of rental property. And I'm not going to say too much because I know some people who watch my channel, and I don't really care if it's back to them because they stole my inheritance. But anyhow, so we were there, and that was their big plan and all, and I guess she had overheard, and she came in and she was crying, so my mom and I went to the other room with her, and we're talking that no one's going to put you anywhere, don't worry. Like I said, I was a new, young mom, just had, I'm pretty sure I had like a little toddler and a baby. Pretty sure. Or I was pregnant, I don't know. But anyhow, she assured her. But the thing was with my mom, she always was intimidated with wealthy people. And these two wealthy people, they were wealthy. And I am not intimidated by wealthy people. I'm not intimidated by anyone. Because I am me and you are you. And my saying used to be, if you're not paying my bills, your opinion doesn't count. And kind of think about it, right? But anyhow, that's not what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to get to this, I guess because it's really sad, it's hard to get to. But anyhow, I thought I'd do a little series on talking about this. So, trigger warning if if you took care of someone with dementia. This is what I'm going to probably be talking about for the next few days. What hour long it takes to do this. So anyhow, we told her not to worry. So time went on, and they I guess they found some other person that they could vulture onto, and kind of forgot about her. And she was just, she was fine in her own apartment. Everything was fine. I mean, we always told her, be careful of her gas stove. And I've never owned a gas stove to me. And nothing against you if you have one. To me, that's just like a hazard waiting to happen. I have a very good sniffer. So gas stoves, oh, the smell is terrible to me. But anyhow, so that was the only concern, with anyone who's older, stoves. But it seemed like it came the next year, and she invited us over again with these same, let's call them the mean people. And it seemed like there was my first husband and I, my mom and her husband, which was my uncle, and these two people. No, I did have, I had two kids. But again, they were little toddlers. So I remember that second year, something that the mean people said. But anyhow, so they're like, talking again about her, and I just, inside I felt, but, I'm a person who's, I don't even know how to say, like, I want to say, what is it your business? Because they, out of everybody, they, like I said, they were millionaires. They never paid her. They just expected her to come and do whatever, and she did a lot at their place because, having a lot of money, your parties are fancier and so on and so forth. So that bothered me. Since when I remember way back when she was younger, I was smaller and, we were at parties or whatever. And it bothered me. And here I'm thinking all that she did for them. And they wanted to put her away to get her little 100, 200, whatever she had. Whatever she had. You'll find out what she had when I get to the end of the series. So anyhow, again, my mom, and this time I spoke up too. I said, no. We both will take care of her. And they're like, oh, well, you have two little children, And we said, no. And again, my mom got intimidated by these people with money. And, we said, no, we're not going to let that happen. I said that because my mom, again, was intimidated. So when we went home, I stopped at my mom's house. We stopped there. Of course, she had more time, and I think she kept my oldest one, who was just, like I said, they're little toddlers. She kept the oldest one overnight, so we stopped there. And I said, we're figuring a way. Don't worry about their money. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to get away with this. She helped all of us in our nationality. She was always everywhere. She was invited to the parties, but she always, like me too. When I went to places, I would, if I had someone to watch my kids, I would always help, clean up, or like I say, take the saran wrap off stuff or whatever. That's just, I don't know. That's the way I was. I don't know, because it was growing up, I was poor and I'd like to look at the food later. I don't know what it was, or just me. I like to help when I can. So we went home and I told my mom, don't worry, and I'd make some phone calls and whatever. And she just felt that, my mom was crying because she didn't want to see this woman who helped so many of all of us in this community to be stuffed away in a nursing home. And she was a little kind of getting a little forgetful. But, then I was very young. I got married right out of high school. So no, it wasn't actually right out, was it? It was the year after. Within the year. I don't even remember. That was my first marriage. But anyhow, so I said, it will happen. So she loved, loved, loved animals and children. And I had little children. So she did not want to go to nursing home. And again, my mom was intimidated, but also sad. So I said, don't worry. So I do not remember the exact steps we went through to stop those people from taking the little bit of pittance she had saved and to stuff her away in a nursing home. I mean, they had more than enough money to take her in and hire someone to take care of her around the clock, but that's not what people like them do. So, it's left to people like us. My mom, like I said, she didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have money. And my first husband had just, started working somewhere making not a lot of money. So it always seems like the poor people are the ones that are always giving. I don't know. Have you seen that in your life? Not like poor live in the road, but, people who make less give more. Kind of, what's that quote I said the other day? Something about blessings, forgot. It's very early in the morning. It's past midnight, then it's early in the morning, you know what I mean? But anyhow, so it just seems like, and I even saw it, at functions, even when I was a scout leader, the people with the most kids did the most, and the one with the only child did nothing. I don't know. That's just what I observed. Maybe it's just in my area. I don't know if you've observed these kind of things, but I've just observed it. It seems like, because I know me, I would always help, and I always, nobody could beat me, where in the circles I was in, I always had more kids no matter what. I remember going to my first high school reunion, and I had everyone beat by a mile, and I won a bottle of wine, and I don't drink, but it was just funny. So anyhow, somehow, so we talked with her. I mean, we went over a lot to visit her during the week, all the time. We just went because she was alone, and we felt bad. And I went a lot of times just with the one child when I had the other child, and my mom, of course, as I said, she loved to work and overtime and whatever. So, we were more like close with her than they were. So, like I said, it was long, long ago, but somehow, I don't know, because she had, I think that gas stove that I can't stand, I think that came with her apartment, but she had some furniture and stuff, so, I think when finally the decisions were made, and let me tell you, those two mean people were very angry, very vindictive people. But I just pushed forward and told my mom, hold your head up high, and they're no better than you, because they sit on the toilet like, well, I don't know what they do. They probably have someone put them on the toilet, the two mean rich people. No, you know what I mean. Everyone pulls their pants down the same way, basically. Well, we could really get into that, but you know what I'm trying to say? We're all the same, basically. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or in between. I don't know why my mom was that way. I don't know if someone said something to her once, made her feel bad. I don't know. And she's gone now, and I wish, I would have thought of it, but, when I was younger, who thinks of it when you're a kid? Then I just started my family, and you don't think your mom's going to be gone, right? So anyhow, we assured this woman that she's not going to be put away in any nursing home. And I said, if I have anything to do about it, that's not going to happen. And she knew me really well. And I was a person, when I said something, I would stick to it. I'm a person who's very, like, in relationships, I'll stick it out. I keep my word. Like, even with the Sandy Sweets, I say, I hope I can do this, but I can't promise you, because if I say it, I have to do it. And I know with my health now, I can't. So between my mom and I, the plan was going to be that I would have this woman during the day, and my mom would have her at night. So my mom could work her job and all the overtime she wants and whatever. And then, I would take care of her in the morning, early in the morning. I think my mom dropped her off. Well, that was a plan. Again, I don't know if we did it yet. This is our plan at this point of where we were in the story. So my mom would bring her over in the morning before work, or I would pick her up. But, this is just like we were planning how it would be, telling her, don't worry, we would not let those mean people put her away. So that was the plan, that we were going to do that. And then at night I would bring her, when my mom gets home, or she would come by after work and pick her up, whatever. So she'd spend the night there and the day with us, with my children, and so on and so forth. So that is where we end right there. And now we will continue on with the next episode. Like I say, I don't know if I'm going to do them in a row, or maybe do it a few times in a week, or I'm not sure. If anyone wants to comment and say, would you rather I do like a series, and like do it today until I get to the end of the story, or do it like, you'll be seeing this on a Sunday. So should I like do it on a Monday, Wednesday, every Monday, Wednesday, or should I just do it for a whole week, the story? What would you like? And if you don't comment, then I'll just figure it out. But anyhow, so that's where we're at. We're at with a wonderful older woman who helped everyone in our community. And now that she got older, and like I say, we didn't see that you could see a little bit, but people forget. You got a lot in your head and a lot to think about. You could be 25 years old and, forget a little thing. And that's what it was. Just little nothing that, I don't know. I don't want to say more because I don't want to talk too much more about the mean people. But anyhow, she probably could have stayed longer at her place. But like I say, at this point, we were just trying to make sure that they wouldn't put her away. And we were telling her if we could do that, well, we knew we could do it. But as far as, of course, they have money. Money is power, unfortunately. But this was our plan that we had hoped to do for this woman who had helped so many people. So basically what this series is going to be about, helping, how our parents took care of us, combed our hair, we're little, gave us a bath, wiped us off with a towel, if you're a girl, did your hair and all that. And then when your parent or someone elderly now is like the child and you're the caregiver. So if you have any stories to share about that, if you're a caregiver now, I'd love to hear it. But this is what I thought I'd do a series on, because I just seen a lot with, and it doesn't have to be with being senile or anything. It's just I've been seeing a lot of stories about that, and just brought back these memories. So I was going to share them with you. So let me know. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share. Sharing is caring. Don't forget to pay it forward. It feels good in your heart, Polly's heart, and my heart. Be the reason someone smiles today. You don't know what people are going through, and just if you can make someone smile, I bet it would make their day. So for now, thanks for stopping by, and see you again. And it won't shut off the phone. Here we are, still waiting.